We are returning to our DCL 101 sessions today. Today, everything you need to know about rotational dining. That's coming up on the DIS Unlimited's DCL Show. Hello and welcome to the DIS Unlimited's DCL Show. I'm Chris Vorbeck, one of the agents at Dreams Unlimited Travel. Thanks so much for being here. We're doing one of a series that we call Disney Cruise Line 101, one of the topics where we kind of look at some of the what you need to know for your Disney cruise. And one of the topics that we wanted to look at was rotational dining. This is unique to Disney Cruise Line, and I think it's really fun. So we're going to break it down for you, give you a primer of what it is, how it works. And for those of you new to Disney cruising, I think there'll be a lot of good information, but also a lot of helpful information for those who have Disney cruised before. So joining me here for this discussion is Dreams Unlimited travel agent Elaine Edwards. Hello, Elaine.
Hi, friends.
Dreams Unlimited travel agent Federico Argar. Hello, Federico.
Hola, hola.
And Dreams Unlimited travel agent Kristen Turner. She's back with us. Hello, Kristen.
Hello, everyone.
And we're going to get to that DCL 101, but I need to just do a word from the sponsor, of course. This show, along with everything we do at the DIS and DIS Unlimited, is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. We are experts at helping you plan that magic Disney cruise, a visit to a wonderful Disney theme park, your Universal adventure, even other cruise lines. No additional cost to book with Dreams Unlimited Travel. None. We're going to get you the same price that if you book direct, but we're going to give you insights about your Disney trip. And if you're booking a cruise, Dreams Unlimited Travel will give you a shipboard credit of up to $1,000, depending on the price of your cruise. Yeah, that's free money to spend on board. Not bad, not a bad deal. And you don't pay an additional cent, so it's not bad. And I should also mention we have a number of bilingual agents. Federico is one of them, but if you want one of those, you can. We have a number of bilingual agents as well. Get a no obligation quote by going to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. And I always mention when we do this by way of transparency, yes, we are all Dreams Unlimited travel agents. This is our job, but we also love Disney Cruise Line. We want you to have the best time possible. We love it when we hear clients tell us, clients or others say, I had the best time. So our job is both here doing this and as agents is to give you the information so you can make the best decision for you and your family. So we hope you book with Dreams, and it allows us to continue to do this. But if you don't, we still hope you have an amazing trip. All right, let's get to Elaine, rotational dining. This is unique to Disney Cruise Line. Give folks an overview. What are we talking about when we talk about rotational dining?
Yes. So on each of the Disney ships, there are 3 main dining rooms. And this is different from other cruise lines where you may have been on, where if you are scheduled into a specific main dining room and you go there every single night of your cruise. This is a little bit different because you will have a schedule, and you will not know that schedule until you get onto the ship. No, we cannot find out ahead of time what it is. You will find out when you get on the ship. And you will rotate between those 3 dining rooms. And the really cool part is that your serving staff of your main server, as well as your assistant server, as well as their manager, will be following you as well. So it's really fun because they really get to know you and they know what you like and what your preferences are, especially if you order that same Sprite at dinner every single night. By the 3rd night, it's probably going to be sitting at the table waiting for you by the time that you get there, because they know that that's what you order. And if you like extra butter for your rolls, it's already going to be sitting there, and so on and so forth. They do a really great job of really getting to know you and what you like as you rotate through those 3 rooms. And so if you're on a longer cruise, like 7 nights, yes, you will be hitting some of those restaurants more than once, but the really cool part is they'll be doing different things in those restaurants. And we will talk about that as the show goes on.
And Federico, anything that people, one of the big things is having your servers who go along with you, and you get to know them. You're going to love them. They get to know you. Hopefully they'll love you too. But that's one of the big things that's part of this, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a so let me just quickly go through what the different restaurants are. On the Disney Magic, you have Animator's Palette, which is kind of the most Disney one. It's very fun. It's like you walked into a Disney cartoon. Lumiere's, which is just off the atrium main hall, and then you have Rapunzel's Royal Table. Disney Wonder has Animator's Palette, Triton's, and then Tiana's Place, which has a whole Tiana show, super awesome. Disney Dream and Disney Fantasy have Animator's Palette, Enchanted Garden, and then Royal Court or Royal Palace, depending on the ship. The Disney Wish has 1920. Well, both the Disney Wish and the Disney Treasure have 1923, which celebrates 100 years of Disney magic. They have both have Worlds of Marvel. The Disney Wish has an Arendelle, which is Frozen. Feels like you're in Frozen, and you get to experience a Frozen show at dinner. And the Disney Treasure has Coco, which celebrates the movie Coco and is really, really awesome. So, Federico, do you have particular favorites amongst those?
Well, it's gonna depend on the night because, as Elaine and you were talking, there are three main dinings per ship, but it's very common that you're not gonna have a 3 night cruise. You may have a 4, 5, 7, 14 cruise. So you're gonna be repeating some of those restaurants depending on the itinerary that you booked. And you may repeat the restaurant, but the menus are not going to be repeated. They're going to
No.
change every night. So, in my personal opinion, I do love the experience. I love the decor and the ambience of the restaurant. But for me, the food is the more important thing.
Yeah.
So it's gonna depend on if you're having like for example Coco the first night or the second night because the menu is going to change. So but in terms of the theming and the decor and the experience that you're gonna have, I do love this type of shows that you're gonna get in some of the restaurants. For example, on Animator's Palette, I love the Disney Fantasy and I love the Disney Dream. Those are two of my favorite ships. But and I don't know if you agree with me or not, Animator's Palette is my least favorite one of those restaurants because it's a little bit too much for my taste. It's like
Yeah.
too much noise and the movies and the screens and the yeah, it's too much. But I experienced that one on the Disney Magic, and I love that. I love the part when Mickey comes out and with the sorcerer costume and
Sorcerer's
he
Apprentice, yeah.
dances around it. Yes, he dances around the table. So it's gonna change depending of the nights, as I said, but also depending on the ships. So it's not going to be even if the restaurant is called the same thing, it's not going to be the same if you're doing it on the fantasy or the dream, the wonder, the magic, or the new ships. So that one I really loved, the one with Mickey on the Disney Magic, because I wasn't expecting that. But also the Coco at the Disney Treasure was one of the cutest, and I think they did a really good job celebrating the Mexican culture, not only the movie but the culture of Mexico, and I thought that
Yeah.
was really well done.
Yeah, really, really exceptionally well done. On the Dream and Fantasy Animator's Palette for the first dining, if you only do it once, you'll only experience it once, but it usually has essentially turtle talk. So Crush from Finding Nemo will come and actually talk to individual tables. It's very fun. So it's lovely.
I
On the
hate it.
second night, you
It's
hate it?
funny to
I hate
yeah,
it. I always
it's
try
funny to hear
to
him.
wear. I'm sorry. I always try to wear like black because when I wear like a not a fancy, but like a colored shirt, he always like, "Hey, you, the guy with the Mickey the shirt." And I'm like, "No, I don't want to talk with you. I don't want to talk with you."
I think
That's
it's
so
funny
funny.
because it's his least favorite because it's my favorite, and I love the menu there too. I always have a hard time deciding what I want because there's multiple things I want, and then their appetizer, I forget what they're called.
The purse pillow pastas.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
the pasta. That's what. Yeah, it's just pastas. It is amazing. Heck, I usually get my server to bring me one every night. Some grabs it from the kitchen, and I also wanted to mention the pirate night. I don't know if you guys all agree with me, but I hate that menu. So, pirate night has a special menu. It'll be different than what the main dining usually serves, and I am not a fan of that menu.
I 100% agree with you. It is very well shown that I love Pirate Night, and I will fully dress out and go to all the parties and dance my little heart out on deck, but I hate the menu. If you are a seafood eater, you will love the menu. There is piles and piles and piles of seafood on this menu, but for me, that is not something that I'm interested in. So I have been known to even order off of the kids menu on Pirate Night. So just to find something that I would rather.
Let's talk a little bit about because there are two dining times. In addition to rotating, the rotational dining. There are two dining times. They used to call them main and second dining. Disney now calls them 5:45 and 8:15, which I think is probably a little bit easier. And somehow it says that could shift by 15 minutes. I don't know what that actually. I've never seen that happen before, but apparently it does. But I know families with little kids always want the 5:45, and I totally get that, getting the early dining time. Oh, here's what I'm going to tell you: a couple of just tips and tricks for dealing with that. If you happen to get, if that's a major priority, please book early because the early dining, main dining goes faster. But if you get the 8:15, you can always put yourself on the waiting list. First off, that usually doesn't come through until very close to your cruise date. So just be warned, and it's going to be a little bit later. If you don't get it, ask on board. There'll be a place where you can go and check with the dining team, and they'll see if they can get you on that early time. If that's not possible, here's some ways of dealing with it. Number one, first off, remember, you're not going to be on your normal home schedule. There's a lot of stuff going on at Disney ship, so your kids may sleep in a little bit later. If you have the late dining, that means you get to go to the show first, so your show time is opposite of your dining time. So you get to, if you're main dining, you go to the late show. If you're late dining, you go to the show first. So your kid may enjoy that too. What I did with my kid one time I had the late dining is we got a little, quick service stuff. There are quick service dining locations as well on board. So you can get that. So they're not going to be ravenous by 8:00. And then really communicate with. And the other thing is room service is always available for you 24/7. For the most part, that's free. Get a Mickey bar delivered to your room. It's super awesome. But also take advantage of let your servers know your servers are there really to make sure you have a lovely experience. So if you say, hey, my kid's just out of steam, can we eat really fast and hand that off? And so I can get him or her to bed. They're going to work with you to make sure that happens. They're really, really looking for you to have the most magical experience ever. Elaine, I want you also to talk because this just came back and I think everyone's very excited about it. But if you do have second dining, you now can let your kids go off to the kids club midway through, right?
Yes, and I believe this is called Dine and Play. Is that right?
Dine and play, correct?
Okay, so this just came back. After the great cruise line shutdown of 2020, they stopped doing this, and a lot of people have been asking for it. We're glad that it's back. What this means, this only happens during the 8:15 dining. It does not happen during early dining. That you sit down, you order, and they will within just a few minutes bring out your kids' meals that they have ordered. And they will still serve the adults on the regular, spacing out, your soup and then your appetizer and then your meal and your dessert and all of that. But kids, they're going to bring everything out and they're going to bring it out real fast. Then after they give them time to eat, some past members from the kids clubs are going to come in, and just like the Pied Piper, they are going to whisk them away to the kids clubs so then the adults can sit and leisurely enjoy their meal at their pace. And so I know a lot of people are very, very excited about this.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Anyone else have any thoughts about, because I know this can be a big panic for parents who have younger kids and they get this second dining time and they say, we just can't do that. Anyone have any thoughts about additional thought? I gave some tips and tricks, but anyone else have thoughts about that?
I have thoughts.
Yeah,
I
go.
thought that on our first cruise that I did with my kids, we had early dining. And then I realized how much I don't like early dining, and I much prefer second dining, even with my kids. This is why, is that before dinner on Disney Cruise Line, you're not, we'll talk about dress code. We should probably talk about that. You are not showing up in your swimsuit and your flip-flops. People do get ready for this. Personally, in our family, everybody takes a shower and everybody gets on nice clothes. I want to have time to do my hair and do my makeup and all of that. So that means I'm essentially cutting off my day very early. That means we have to, whatever we're doing, if we're out on a port adventure, we're on Castaway Cay, if we're hanging out at the pool, at like 3 o'clock, I'm telling everybody we need to go back to the room because we all got to start taking our showers and getting ready and all of that. And that's a very early, cutoff when you're, having fun on the beach. And so I just felt so rushed in that sense that after that, I will never do early dining. I will always do second dining because I feel like now I can maximize my time on excursions, especially if you are sailing to Alaska. If you're on Alaska sailing, you will want the late dining because in Alaska, you are in those ports sometimes until 8 o'clock at night because they're not getting there until noon. So you really want to have time to spend as much time as you can in those ports. So I do highly recommend second dining if that is something that you can work over for your family. Like Chris said, there is always food on board. No one in your family will ever starve. There is always quick service on the pool deck. You can throw some chicken fingers and fries at them. You can order room service. You can always find food to fend them off until dinner. So
we were on one of the European cruises and we did a long excursion. It was like all day. We didn't get back. We barely got back in time for second dining. So just on some of those European and Elena mentioned Alaska, those ones you may actually want to think about doing second dining regardless. Kristen, you have a lot of kids. So how have you thought about and dealt with this issue?
We usually do early dining. We did one time do a last minute booking where we had second dining and it worked out good for us. One thing that I think is a small perk is on the last day when you're getting off the ship, if you have late dining, you have a later breakfast. The other one is so early. And so I was always like, well, that's nice. But yeah, it has never been, it's not an issue if you end up having to do second dining. My kids, we are just now we have the treasure booked where we have, we're branching out of the Bahamas and we have a Caribbean where we will do some port adventures, get off the ship more. So maybe we'll come to that where we think that second dining would have been beneficial for us because of that reason. But for us, we do a lot of staying on the ship, especially at Nassau. So it works for us to have the early dining, but and I don't have super small kids. My smallest is 6, so we might get to where second works for us too. But I never am going to complain at it,
Yeah.
whatever time.
Make it work.
Um,
Exactly. You make it
yeah.
work. I want to talk because Elaine mentioned about dress code. So it's good if you're on one of the longer cruises. There's often a formal night. You don't have to do formal. It's his choice, and they're not going to throw you out of the dining room if you're not wearing a tuxedo. You're fine. But Federico, what do you tell folks about as they ask you about, okay, what do we wear to dining?
He tells
So
them not to wear a Mickey shirt unless they want to talk to him, is what he says.
So you don't get called by
yeah,
Crush.
exactly. So I had a client because I send my clients an email with these ideas I have for the
Hacking.
formal night, and
Yeah.
this is specifically a dress code requirement, and I tell them it's not something that you have to do. If you want to do it, that's fine, but you don't have to do it. I usually never do it. I only have a dress code for Paulo or Remy, but I never do it for the main dining. Yes, I don't go with a bathing suit or flip-flops, but I never dress up. I always dress up like in my house, well, every weekend when I go out. So when I'm on vacation, I like to take it more casual. But I had a client texted me and said like, well, people are very serious about this. Are they gonna let me in the restaurant? And I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. If you are gonna be uncomfortable, then do dress up. But if you're not gonna be uncomfortable and you don't care what people think, just wear whatever makes you feel good. But I wanted to ask something from what Elaine was saying about schedules, because sometimes if you do want to take it more relaxing and just on your own pace, don't be afraid to skip the main dining. Yes, it's a very important part of the experience of going on a cruise, but if you want to stay late on the pool and you don't want to get ready or whatever, there are other options for you to eat. As she was saying, you're not going to be starving if you skip the main dining. You're going to have room service 24 hours. You're going to have you can, if you do the 5 o'clock
5:45.
yeah, 5:45 main dining, and one day you want to eat later, you can book Paulo at 8 o'clock, and you can change things around, and don't feel like the main dining and the rotation you get is something that you're like changed to.
Right.
You're gonna have
You're not
freedom to
right.
do different
Exactly. You
things,
won't, and you're not
and
going to
also
starve if
with
you don't go to that. Elaine, let's talk a little bit about, you mentioned Palo Remy. There are adult only dining locations that are available in Enchanté as well on the Wish class ships. Those are available as well, right?
Yes. Before we do that, I think we need to actually say what you can wear and what people do wear to dining, because I don't think
Yep.
we've actually gotten that far yet. Um, I know that for me personally, I will wear a dress every night when I'm on the ship, because that's what I like to do. Usually, if we're in the Bahamas, then it's going to be like sundresses, stuff like that. And then when we were in Alaska, some of them had long sleeve, that kind of thing, because that's what I prefer to do. They're not formal dresses by any means, but they're dresses because I work from home and nobody sees me in my when I wear my pajamas all day. So any opportunity I can to put on real clothes, I want it. Now, other people, as far as ladies go, they may be wearing blouses, capris, stuff like that. Any kind of like resort wear, that kind of thing. And for men, I play by the rules that if you're traveling with me, you're going to have a collar on your shirt. So for my kids, they're usually wearing polo shirts. If I'm traveling with a gentleman of whatever nature, then he's probably wearing like a button up collared shirt, or he's wearing a polo shirt and like khaki pants or khaki shorts or like black pants, that kind of thing. So it's not formal, but it's that dressy casual, maybe what you wear to church on Sunday, that kind of thing. And then for formal night, I will wear whatever the fanciest dress that I brought, but it is by no means like a ball gown, anything like that. So I don't know, Kristen, what do you do as far as your family and how they dress? Do you do the same
You get
rules?
all
Are you
dressed
more
up.
casual?
No, no. My kids are not good at dressing up. I have a daughter who is very much a tomboy, and so she's wore a dress like 2 times in her life since she was old enough to, choose to not wear a dress. My kids don't own anything that has buttons on. So they will, I mean, we're not wearing what we wear to the pool, but, and I'll wear shorts. I'm not a big dress person, on dressing up either. I do like to, like you said, because we don't get to do it a lot. And I have a lot of like Disney dresses that I don't get to wear very much. So I will occasionally, but sometimes I just don't have the time to. We came straight from the island, and I just hurry up, take a shower, and don't don't get completely made up. But my husband, he always wears a collared Roosevelt shirt. He has
There you
100
go.
million of them. So he will, but my kids, they don't look like slobs or anything, but as far as needing a collar, and they do not wear a collar. They will have a nice t-shirt with some shorts. But and you can do that and you don't feel uncomfortable. We've never
Right.
No,
felt
you're not going to feel
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable. And I will say
Right.
pretty
Yeah.
much when I'm wearing, I wear a Roosevelt shirt for formal night. I'll put on a blazer. But and I try and match my shirts to the different decor of the
Oh yeah.
rooms as much as I can.
Oh,
So
100%. I will always match my outfit to the restaurant every single
yeah,
time. If
yeah.
there's a theme, I am all in.
Exactly. We're big into our themes. Let's jump back to what happens if Paolo, Remy, Enchanté. Paolo and Remy are on the Paolo's on all the ships. Remy is on the Dream class ships, the Disney Dream, Disney Fantasy. Enchanté is on the Wish class ships. These are additional. There's an additional charge for these, as Elaine mentioned, and they are really, really nice. And I actually think they're a pretty good value. One of the best values in anywhere in Disney. You can get, they're essentially all you can eat. Remy and Enchanté have a more formalized multi-course meal. Palo is either a steakhouse or Italian flavor, and if you do these, that means you probably don't go to your dining rotation. So they're above and beyond that. Elaine, you've done this a lot, and it's awesome, right?
Yes. So I have only done Paolo. I have never done Remy or Enchanté.
Mm.
We ended up, when we went on the Wish, we made a reservation for Enchanté, and then we said no, we canceled it, and we went back to Paolo a second time because it was the Paolo Steakhouse. And as I mentioned earlier, they are in another show, I guess. They have a Wagyu steak, and it is amazing, and the side dishes are amazing, and the servers are amazing. And so I've only done Palo, but I've done him on all of the ships. I've done Palo dinner and I've done Palo brunch, both of which are different experiences, but both are truly wonderful. And if I have one tip about these restaurants, if you're going to book one of these, book them towards the beginning of your cruise. And the reason that I say that is because by the time I get towards like day 3, 4, 5 of a cruise, I'm kind of tired of eating because I have been eating nonstop and very large portions for several days. And when you go to Palo, most of the portions are double portions, especially with like Palo Steakhouse. When you order a side, it's meant for 2 people. And so they are very large portions. And so if you want to fully enjoy it, put it more towards the beginning of your cruise. And just like Chris said, I do want to mention, if you are making a reservation, you are more than likely going to miss your main dining for that evening. And I know this is very, very hard because, as I said at the top of the show, you don't know what your rotation is. And when we went on the Magic last year, we did this for it was the Lookout Key preview cruise. So we had a lot of our team on there. And John, our agency owner, booked a Palo dinner for all of us to attend. And I was so sad because that was the Rapunzel's dining room night.
Yeah.
And I had never been on it. And I have for 10 years been dreaming about going to Rapunzel's dining room and being able to see the show and all of the theming and everything. And I was so sad that we missed it that night. And I actually went and asked them, I said, can I come to early dining, because we were scheduled for second. I said, can I please come to early dining, because I was going to do both. I was going to do Palo and early dining, and they're like, no, I'm sorry, we're full, we can't accommodate you. And it was a great disappointment. So
Yeah. We'll play the sad horn sound. We just want to mention in the you'll get on there. You're going to get to experience this at some point. They're fun. They have a whole show around it. It's very cool. If you're doing Palo, Remy, or Enchanté, there are specific dress codes. Those are more required than, and if you're not wearing the right shoes, they're going to send you back. So do pay attention to the dress code. Those adult only dining areas, they've loosened them up a little bit. It used to be coat was required across the board. You don't necessarily need a coat for men in not Remy, but the name escaped me. Palo. There you go. I knew I get it. But you will in Remy and Enchanté. And no shorts, and women will have to wear dresses, and it's a lot more. There's, as I say, pay attention to it. Make sure that's what you plan on do. Make sure you have the proper dress code. So, anyone else have comments about Palo, Remy, or Enchanté?
To make those reservations, you do that just the same way you would book an excursion. So if this is your very first time cruising, you can do that at 75 days out. And then, if you're silver, you can do it 90, so on and so forth. That's when you would book those. And you can book them right online in your Castaway Club account. If for whatever reason you're really wanting to get one and they're not available, once you get on the ship, there will be usually one of the lounges will have a dining changes scheduled, and you can go there and ask to be put on a wait list or see if they have any openings, that kind of thing.
I just wanted to, as we're starting to wrap this up, I wanted to give a pro tip for folks who are doing a Disney cruise dining. You can try things that you may not otherwise try. Like they may have escargot, and you said, I've always wanted to try escargot. If you don't like it, you can get something else, or get that and something else. They're going to bring it to you. And it's a good opportunity to try things you may not eat otherwise and say, hey, I'm going to try this out. Let's see how it goes. And we can really experience maybe new things and maybe get a new thing. And there's zero risk, because if you don't like it, guess what? They'll bring you something else. So don't be shy, and particularly work with your servers. They are there to make you super happy. They're going to give you recommendations generally about what they think is the best thing on the meal. You're not locked into that. You don't have to do it, but it's, as I say, it's a fun way. And if there's something you really like and you want those percettes, if you want 2 of those pasta percettes, those are super awesome. Get 2 of them. It's fine. They won't judge you. The rest of the people at your table might, but they won't. Any other pro tips that folks want to share with folks as they think about dining?
I had something just in general about loving the servers and we've gotten to the point where we recognize and know certain ones, and you can also request them. It's not a guarantee, but if you have somebody you really loved on a ship and you know that they're going to be on the ship, your next time you can request that you have that same server, and sometimes Disney gives it to you and sometimes they don't, but we have got to the point where I actually am a Facebook friend of one of our favorites, and I'll ask him where he's at and if he's going to be on the ship so that we can request him. We have pictures with our kids with them. You really, really have the best service in those main dining, and it's so cool that they get to follow you and get to know you and everything. It's one of the best parts of Disney Cruise.
Yeah, it's super
Yeah.
awesome.
On that
Yeah,
same
go ahead,
note,
Federico.
we as travel agents, we can request for you a table just for your travel party. If you don't want to be seated with other people, we can ask for that. And also, if your first language is Spanish, for example, or any other language, we can also request servers that speaks your language. It's going to depend on availability, but they're going to try to do that, or seat you if you want. If you do want to share tables with somebody else, they're going to try to seat you with people who speaks your language, so the communication is going to be better and you're going to be able to socialize more with the other guests. So always reach out to your agent and say, we want this, and we will communicate that to Disney Cruise Line, and they will try to get it for you.
I will say,
start
make
wrapping
sure
this up,
that
but
you reach
Elaine,
out.
yep,
Make
go.
sure that you reach out to your agent 2 months ahead of time, because I found out that they make the seating arrangement at 45 days out. So don't wait until a week before your cruise to say, hey, we would like a private table, or we're sailing with our other friends that booked. We want to be linked with them. Put in all those requests ahead of time.
All awesome information. Thank you guys all. With that, we're going to wrap this up. Of course, we'd love for you to book with Dreams Unlimited Travel. The best place to do that, dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. You just go to Disney Cruise. The first page is going to ask for your itinerary, then your cruise date. On that second page, after you get through that, at the very top, there's a pull-down menu of all the Dreams agents. All of them are super awesome. You can select one, or you don't have to. You'll be assigned a Dreams Unlimited Travel agent to work with you. And if you want to get in touch with one of us, Elaine Edwards, how do people get in touch with you?
So my email is Elaine, ELAINE at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com.
And Federico, how do people get in touch with you?
Is Federico at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Federico is FEDERICO at Dreams Unlimited Travel.
Awesome. And Kristen, how do people get in touch with you?
I'm Kristen at Dreams Unlimited Travel, KRYSTIN at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com.
Awesome. And if you want to reach me, Chris V at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Yes, there's a Chris, so it's Chris V at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Thank you guys all for joining us. Really appreciate a lot of good information there. And special thanks to our producer, Jimmy. Always an awesome job. And thank you for joining us. We really do appreciate it. Depending on where you're watching or hearing this, please like, subscribe, review, leave a review. All of this, it feeds something called algorithms. And it really does help, believe it or not. I don't fully understand how it works, but they tell me it's true. So there you go. And if you have any topics for us, you can leave those on YouTube. You can leave those in the comments. We have a DCL fan Facebook page that Elaine oversees. So you can, a whole bunch of people discussing Disney Cruise Line. You can leave show ideas there, or you can just email me. That works too. So thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it. We'll see you soon. With that, safe travels. And I said it already, but we'll see you real soon. So long.